Thanks for the host, and thanks for Wes to invite me to share the concentrating solar power development in China. I work for China Solar Thermal Alliance. First, I would like to. I will cover 3 parts for this presentation. Sorry. The first one is CSP policies in China. The second is about the CSP market now, and I also mentioned some CSP R&D projects on the way here. First, I would like to say something about China Solar Thermal Alliance, which is a policymaker supporter and the industry promoter. And we have more than 60 members formed an alliance of industry plus institute and university. For the CSP policies, because I don't know the audience, so I would like to introduce the CSP first. CSP is a grid-friendly dispatchable power source with a long-duration thermal energy storage system, so which is capable of generating electricity at night, which is a very important advantage and a feature of this technology. Here I'd like to show you some photos of CSP plants in China, which is also the winning works in our competition, photographic competition. This one is 100 megawatt solar power plant in Dunhuang, built by Shouhuang. These two are the same plant, is a 50 megawatt solar tower of Energy China in Hami, Xinjiang province. These two photos are still the same because this the photographic view, the plants is very beautiful. This one is for the 100 megawatt parabolic trough plant in Inner Mongolia. We also have a 100 megawatt molten salt linear Fresnel plant. This one just put into operation this September and achieved full load operation this November. For the CSP development, in fact, it started from the R&D. This photo shows our first megawatt system in Beijing, built by Institute of Electrical Engineering, Chinese Academy of Sciences. After that, we get together all the sources to push the government. And in the end, in 2015, National Energy Administration decided to organize CSP demonstration projects in China. It has 2 goals. One is to promote the industrialization of CSP technology in China and to foster the system integration capacity. And in 2016, National Development and Reform Commission, NDRC, announced an on-grid tariff of 1.15 yuan per kilowatt hour. This price only applicable for the demonstration projects organized by NEA. And the same year, NEA selected 20 projects after evaluation with a total capacity more than 1 gigawatt, 7 solar tower, 9 parabolic trough, and 4 linear Fresnel, covering all commercialized technologies with TES, thermal energy storage. But in 2020, the Ministry of Finance, NEA and NDRC decided no more physical subsidies for new CSP plants, which means that we only have a first batch with support, then we have no subsidies. By the end of 2020, 7 CSP demonstration projects put into operation. We selected 20 projects, but in the end, 7 put into operation. 4 towers, 2 parabolic trough, and 1 linear Fresnel. These 4 projects enjoys a tariff of 1.15 yuan. In China, we make a plan of 5 years. Let's say from 2021 to 2025 belongs to the 14th 5-year plan, and the 2021 is the starting year of the 5-year plan. So in this year, a lot of papers issued by the government. For example, the National Energy Administration requires PV and wind plants must be equipped with the flexible regulation capacity for grid connection. Otherwise, you cannot connect to the grid without the maybe we call it the regulation power source. And the CSP with thermal storage is one of the grid connection conditions which created an opportunity for CSP after the government cut off the subsidies. And the power grid purchase CSP power with a very low price. It's the benchmark price for coal-fired power plant. Basically, is 0.3 yuan per kilowatt hour. It's very low. And the on-grid tariff of CSP is determined by the local authorities, not by the central government anymore, starting from 2021. But if the projects of PV and wind with this peak-shaving power source, and it has the priority to connect to the grid. So the government encourage multiple expansion of a peak regulation resource. CSP is one of it. So in general, CSP's advantages have gained widespread recognition and support from the government. In the 14th 5-year plan for renewable energy development issued by 9 ministries and commissions, said we need to build CSP plants with long-term TES capacity to give full play to the energy storage and regulation capacity and grid system support capacity of CSP plants. So the goal is there's one goal is to improve the stability and reliability of new energy power generation and the grid system. In 2021 and 2022, 2023, there's several papers for CSP. Of course, not only for CSP, but there's some statements and article and statement for CSP. For example, for the state grid, for the state council action plan of carbon dioxide peaking before 2030, there's a one sentence: vigorously develop CSP and encourage and promote the establishment of integrated wind, solar PV, and CSP energy power base or the complexes. And especially in Qinghai, Xinjiang, Gansu, and Inner Mongolia, CSP is the peak shaving power source to support the PV and the wind come to the grid. In 2023, the Ministry of Ecology and Environment issued the methodology for voluntary GHG emission reduction projects. CSP is listed in CCER because the CSP in China is still a little bit higher than the PV and the wind. it needs some extra, extra tools to support it. So CCR is one of it. And from this year, energy law of the People's Republic of China has come into effect. And in Article 25 states actively develop concentrating solar power. So from the law, CSP has its strategic role. By the end of 2024, China's installed capacity of new energy has surpassed the installed capacity of a coal-fired power plant. The government decided from this year, the on-grid price for all the new energy will be determined by the market. It's also an opportunity for CSP because we can generate electricity in the morning and at night. For the CSP market, by the end of this October, China installed CSP capacity reached 1.6 gigawatt. And in 2025, we have 8 CSP plants put into operation with a total capacity of 800 megawatt, 7 solar tower, and 1 linear Fresnel. From this table, you can see the developers of the CSP plants are the state-owned companies, not the we call it the private company anymore, because it has PV and wind and CSP. The one project has a capacity of 1 gigawatt. It's the big project. So we have the China's Regorges and Energy China, China Power, like the State Power Investment Group to develop the renewable energy base. During the installed CSP capacity, the molten salt solar tower dominates the market. It's about 72%. And in 2024, we have 200 kilowatt supercritical CO2 CSP system put into operation in Beijing. For the projects on the way, the total capacity is about 7.5 megawatt. 7.5 gigawatt. It's based on our calculation. The projects under construction is on the real construction. These plants will be put into operation this year or next year. So the total is about 2.8 gigawatt. For the under plan projects, it is still, some of them are in the real progress, but some of them are still waiting for the more clear, the market selection. Just now I mentioned the first batch CSP projects. We have 7. And here I would like to show you 4 of them performs the annual utilization hours. This is for the subcon Delinha 50 megawatt solar tower. It surpassed the value, the design value. And this one is a 100 megawatt solar tower plant. And this is from CGN Delinha parabolic trough plant. And this is for the 100 megawatt parabolic trough plant in Inner Mongolia. It has 10 hours of thermal storage with the annual utilization hours more than 3,000. And each year we published the Blue Book of China's concentrating solar power industry. It can be downloaded from our website free. These two charts shows the monthly generation in 2023-2024 of the Linha 50 megawatt solar tower plant. And here shows the first January, the first half year from January to July of this plant. And it's some comparison. CSP is still a little bit high in cost and in LCOE. But from our first batch demonstration period to now, the on-grid price has decreased about 52%. Our target is 0.4 yuan per kilowatt hour by 2030. It's a big challenge, but we still need to work for it. Otherwise, the market may be very low. Nowadays, we have developed we call it the multi-tower solar tower projects. And in Delinha, in Qinghai province. In Qinghai province, last year, the government decided to build three CSP plants. Each one has a capacity of 350 megawatt. And the thermal storage is from 12 hours to 14 hours with 3 towers. And these 3 projects enjoys a tariff of 0.55 yuan per kilowatt hour. This plant is 100 megawatt, 2 towers of solar tower plant already put into operation this October. And they are planning to build 3 towers or even more, 4 towers, 6 towers with bigger capacity. 1 steam turbine, but the heliostat field and the tower are multiple. For the CSP R&D, we have completed the 200 kilowatt SCO2 CSP system in Beijing last year. This photo taken this is September. The particle receiver are working with 700 degrees C and the 1 megawatt thermal capacity. We have 18 parties involved in this project, funded by Ministry of Science and Technology. Here is the thermochemical particles experiment on the solar tower built by Zhejiang University. Here you can see a photo. The heliostat focuses the sunlight to the receiver aperture, and the particles slide within the cavity due to the gravity. And your thermochemical particles and thermochemical solar technology is encouraged by Ministry of Science and Technology. In 2023, the Ministry of Science and Technology funded another big project using the concentrated solar energy to produce the cement and ceramics. This photo shows the reactor that uses the concentrated mirror to produce the cement. This is the produced cement and ceramics. And you can see here some parameters. The cement Kelvin is higher than 1,500 degrees C, and the ceramic Kelvin is about 100 to 1,500 degrees C. The IECS has developed the high-density solar concentrators, and the average energy flux density is about 1 megawatt per square meter. And apart from the solar tower, some companies are developing the large aperture parabolic trough concentrator at 8.6 meters with molten salt as the heat transfer fluid and the thermal storage medium. This loop developed and operated by the Royal Tech. And this chart shows its operation data on September 19th. The output temperature can reach 500, about 560 degrees C. And other bigger company like China Guangdong Nuclear Power or the Energy China tries to develop using this technology, molten salt parabolic trough technology, to build the large one, like the 300 megawatt steam turbine, the unit. What's in the next 5 years for CSP? First is we conclude the development mode. First we start the demonstration projects. Then we have no subsidy from the central government. Then we use the CSP complemented or integrated with PV and wind. CSP functions as a complementary peak-shaving power. The developers use the profit from PV and wind power to subsidize the high cost of CSP. For example, in Gansu province, CSP with PV ratio is 1:6 in capacity. For example, the project capacity is 700 megawatt, then CSP is 100, and PV will be 600. In Xinjiang, the ratio is 1:9. But for next year, we call it the 15th 5-year plan. The development road may be changed because you can see, I didn't translate into English, but see this column is the PV price now. It's very low. For example, in Gansu province, the PV and the wind only 19 cents renminbi, and others about 23 or 25 in the Xinjiang and Gansu, Qinghai. So it's very low. The developer has no money from PV. They even have no profit for PV. So they have no money to compensate for CSP investment. So we might develop the standalone plants like Qinghai. They have the 350 megawatt standalone projects that are under construction now. So we will play a role as a coal-fired power plant for peak shaving or even for the base load. Also, we needed to expand our application scope, like with the solar concentrator and the molten salt TES. Here is the example for the application expansion, the heavy oil extraction. Each year, the superheated steam generation is about 52,000 tons. And this one is using the parabolic trough concentrator to produce the heat and cooling, and even to make ice. This one is the application of thermal storage, molten salt thermal storage with the coal-fired power plant. So with the thermal storage, the plant capacity, heating capacity increased to 410 tons per hour, and but of course the temperature of the molten salt for the coal-fired plant is lower than our CSP, but it's one of the application. The last slide is about each year we will hold the CSP conference. Next year we will be in Xining, Qinghai province. They have many CSP plants there. So if you are interested, welcome to China to cooperate. And thanks. Host, I have finished my presentation. I will stop the sharing.
Thank you so much, Feng Li. It was a very, very interesting talk and very much appreciated by the audience here. Unfortunately, we're almost out of time. It's our morning tea time. But do we have any burning questions? We've got one from Roger coming up. I think we only have time for one question.
Thanks, Feng Li. Roger Dargaville from Monash University. Can you describe why in China there's a tendency towards solar tower technology as opposed to parabolic trough? In a lot of the rest of the world, there's a majority of plants being built at parabolic trough. So why in China is the tower technology so much more popular?
Thanks for the question. It's true. It's how to say. Many people ask about this. Why solar tower is dominant in Chinese market? How to say? Basically, it's because of the investment. Because of the cost, the solar tower is lower than the parabolic trough. Because nowadays the parabolic trough is used oil, and but the thermal storage medium is molten salt. It requires a lot of molten salt. Just now I showed the 100 megawatt PT project in Inner Mongolia. The molten salt usage is about 70,000 tons, and the molten salt price is high. Also, they have the oil to molten salt heat exchanger. And another one is we have a more, how to say, I think the investment is the main reason for that, because the developer wants to save money.
All right, I think we'll finish up there. But thank you again, Feng Li Du, for joining us and giving us such a great presentation.
Thank you, and goodbye.